Hello everybody, my name is Avery from Frostbite, and today we're going to be on episode 2 of Java tutorials. I really forgot what my friend did in the last tutorial, so we'll just make a new project. I call it YouTube, new package, let's call it let's do com.avery2468135579, that can be your name, YouTube. Let's create a main class by right-clicking that package, doing new, then class, and let's call it class. So the first thing I want to teach you guys is primitive data types, also known as variables. There are, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 main types of primitive data or variables. There are boolean, character, byte, short, integer or int, long, float, double. These are 8, hopefully, yeah. 8 different variables for primitive data type. I pulled up the Oracle page, which will help explain it a lot easier. So basically, a byte is an 8-bit sign. Okay, I have no clue. This. Okay, this is it. So bytes can have a minimum value of -128 and a maximum of 127. So basically, if I have a byte and I set it to 125, it will be fine. But if I set the byte to 130, it's just gonna crash whatever you're working on. And so that's what it means by values. Then short has from -32,768 to a maximum of 32,767. Then integer is basically a big number to the minimum's a small number, the maximum's a big number. Basically, integers is what a lot of people use. Integers and double. Yeah. Integers and double are what people use. So, integer is an integer, like you learned in math. It cannot be a decimal. It can be below zero or above 0. And, yeah. And then a double is basically, you're allowed to have decimal values, like a decimal point. You can have like 1.3, and usually in int you can't have any decimal values. Then floats, floats are like, I actually don't really understand floats. I don't really use them that much. I guess yeah, you can read up on floats. I'll leave this in the description. Yeah. Then their boolean is a true or false statement. So you could set it true or false, and this is very useful. Then a character is basically a character. Like A is a character, B is a character. If I'm wrong, please don't hit me. I think we went over everything. A long can hold a lot of numbers. Yeah. So let me show you how you can create these variables. So what you want to do is first you're gonna have to have I don't know what this is called, a security let me just show it to you. You're gonna have to have either private, public, could you just do static? Yeah, you could probably just do static. There's more, but I don't want to list all of them. Is there more? I don't know. So basically, you're gonna have to have one of those in front of the primitive data type. So you're gonna have to do, if you're declaring it, you have to do like public byte, and let's call this byte Avery. And then there you go. You have let me delete all this. You have a byte named Avery, which is public, which public means you can access it from any class. And then you could make this private. That means you cannot access this variable unless you make a getter and setter, which basically is a public method which you can get stuff back with. So it's public, so you can do get Avery, and it's going to return the private variable Avery, but since it's public, you're going to be able to access it from different classes. And then we have static, which static means that if I had another class, okay, let's make a new class, let's call it test. If I had a new class, and I wanted to get the byte variable and I added static, I could just do class dot class import class first. Okay, I need to make it inside a method. Let me just make a quick method. I'll explain methods later. Public void test. I don't want that constructor. So if we're going to do class dot Avery, and we get the byte, and we're able to use that byte. But say if it was a public variable, we won't be able to do class.Avery anymore. Look, we won't be able to do it. Oh, if you're wondering, okay, I'll explain that later. What we'll have to do if it's public is that we're gonna have to define the class and create a new class. So we're gonna have to do class equals new class, and then we're gonna have to do class or whatever you assign the variable's name to, Avery. Then if it's private, you're going to have to define the class and create the class, or create the class, and then you're going to have to get the getter and setter. So let's do that. It's private byte Avery. We're going to create getter and setters. We're going to save that class by doing Control S. And then in our other class, we're going to have to do sa.getAvery, and that gets the variable from the getter and setter. Yes. I don't know what else I could explain for this. So basically, if you wanted to assign this byte an actual number, what you do is after the name of your variable, you can do equals, then whatever number you want. Since byte is from negative 128 to 127, we're going to assign it to 7. And we're gonna keep this private. No, let's put it static. No, I think you guys can actually not even assign a private, static, or public in front of it. So that's just if you want to access it from outside this class that you're working in. And the class is basically where all your code is and how it compiles, and hopefully I'm saying this right. Alright, so let's keep this. I usually keep my variables private since I like doing getter and setter methods, or I keep it static depending on what type of class. I never really do public since I prefer getter and setters. It just looks cleaner to me. Yeah, so we're gonna have this variable Avery, and let's create a getter and setter for Avery. Okay, let's create a new class. I think I showed you guys how to do this. So let's do, you can either right click on the package, do new class, or right here in the upper toolbar thing, you can just you can click on this C, this green circle with a C, and it creates a new class. Let's name this class YouTube. This will be our main class. So you know the variables already. So next episode I'll be teaching you what to do inside this YouTube to actually to make something run. It's gonna be amazing. So this episode's been on variables. I don't know if there's enough things to show. Oh, I could show booleans. So you can do boolean b or Avery equals false. Yeah. But then, oh, I forgot to show you guys this. The one thing you can do is that you can do, let's do private boolean Avery. Then if we add a method, which we'll be going into next episode, we're going to call this method Avery, Avery1. So inside this method, if we want to change this variable, we can do Avery is equal to, then whatever we want it to be. So say if this was, so we changed this false to a true inside this method. So say that we want this to be an int, and the integer is 1. Inside of, let's change this to count, that every time this is called, I want to put Avery up to 2. So we're going to do Avery is equal to 2, and that's going to set Avery's number to 2. The variable Avery, which is a private integer, to 2. And then, if every time count is called, the method count, right here, every time the method count is called, I want Avery to go up by 1. What I'm going to do is Avery plus plus. And I forgot to tell you guys, you have to have these semicolons, I think they're called. Whatever this is called. At the end of every statement you have, which isn't a method. That just tells Java that you're done with declaring whatever you're doing. Alright, so this is how you add 1 every time you do count. But if you want to subtract 1 from Avery every time you do count, you just do Avery minus minus, and that will subtract 1 every time. Alright, that's all I'm going to get into today, guys. I'm going to delete this class for preparation for next episode. Next episode, we're going to be going over methods and going over if statements. Alright, thank you guys for watching, and bye.